Hi, everybody. I'm Jennifer Burns. I'm the new team leader here for Keller Williams Exclusive. Welcome this morning to our ALC meeting. Previously in my sales career, I was on the ALC as the Education and Culture Chair with Deanna Davis and a couple other agents at the time. So we're going to talk a little bit. The ALC is the Agent Leadership Council, and these folks are here because they're typically in the top 20%, or their staff that are filling roles as far as some of the committees. There's some ALC bylaws or rules of engagement, so to speak. So if you'll just put your email address in the bottom, I will get that from you, and I will send you like the full-on definition and roles of how the ALC functions. Okay. Does that help? Alana, you want to start us off with just this is last week's, or this is the agenda for today?
This is the agenda for today, and then we have, so if you have the physical paper here, so on the front page is kind of old business, and reports from the committees, and then on the back is our new business and announcements. So I guess we can dive into, do we want to do just unfinished business or
start there?
Okay.
Yeah.
So QR codes for training and events in the office. I have, obviously on the front of the podium, I have a QR code on the little magnet, guys. So anytime that there is a class in person and people are here, it will link to our event feedback Google form, and so people can scan it, and they'll just put their email address in and be like, oh, I was attending red, yellow, green, or like the team meeting, any other like classes or book club, and then they can fill it out and like, how relevant is it to like your business? Did you like it? Any like comments that you have or anything like that. And it does capture your email, but that's just like so that I know for like attendance sake, the people who are giving feedback, but also don't afraid to be honest. You're not going to hurt my feelings or anything, or any of like leadership's feelings with like, if you're like, I think this sucked, and like, but if you do say
tell
that,
us why.
Yeah, tell us why. You can't just say it sucked. You have to elaborate. But yeah, so, and then on the team meeting, you will see on the very last slide, I do have the same QR codes for the people, if they're watching it from home on Zoom, it'll be big enough that they can just take their phone and scan it, and it'll take them. And then instead of QR codes, I also will have the link. So then for people who take classes, and then like I sent out a recap email, like, oh, thanks so much. Like, let us know, what you thought of it, and so it'll just be there as well. So you will see that as well in the team meeting recap email that I send out probably around 5 today. So we got that. That was someone at the back door.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't see nobody.
Okay.
So could I have jokes while
Let me see, I'm just having trouble with you.
y'all know, I'm not real.
We'll get you. I got you.
Me and the bank. Me and the
I got
bank.
you.
Me and the
I
bank
got
is the
you.
same
Anybody
way.
have-
The bank
Don't
people
feel
come out.
nervous. Feel
Yeah.
free to text me or ask after the meeting if you're unfamiliar with how to scan a QR code and get into that form.
Mhm.
Don't hesitate.
I will say, if you do have an iPhone, it's really easy though. If you just go like you're going to take a picture and then you just put over it, it will.
A
your
link
camera-
pops up.
Yeah.
I got you.
So there's that, but then I'll also have the physical links that you can click in the emails, and then it'll just take you to it.
Awesome.
Walking tours. I know that obviously this has been a little hectic, especially with the move and everything else. I don't know if Mary Hester's on the call right now.
See.
But I also know that you've been really busy too, Deanna.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay. Any update there or?
No, I would
Okay.
say the best thing for us to do is for us walking tours, push it back to like somewhere in October.
Okay,
That's fair.
Okay.
I think it'll still be nice.
got it.
DEI event outreach. That was me, Deanna, and Joe to bring someone to hold an event to get a specific date.
Can I jump in there and just say that needs to be when we're in the new building?
Yes.
That absolutely needs to be, and we're still in a TBD phase there.
So it probably be September, or October.
But I
Yeah.
think I found, remember you sent me the picture of the,
Yes,
so
he's the
I,
one we need.
I think I found the guy in Jersey.
Okay,
I think I found it.
awesome.
Right, I kept, you know,
Yeah.
from what you sent me, and then I started Googling.
Was it Lewis Dixon? Is that him? Anyway, yes,
Yeah.
it's one of the guys. Okay, all right.
LGBTQ involvement, upcoming events for KW to participate in, coordinate with DEI committee if I want to join the Rainbow Network. I have joined the Rainbow Network. I'm not exactly sure what that all entails. It's very easy to join, but. Hi, Ryan. I do not know, but I can send you the link.
Right.
Try 1, 2, 3, 4. All right.
See again?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Sorry, did I go too far up? You were talking about LGBT, the
That's fine.
rainbow. Okay,
Yep, so I joined the Rainbow Network. My basic understanding of it is that it is a KW network for both agents, people who are in leadership or in the office can join it. It's a part of a really big referral network, and they do a lot of like housing initiatives for the LGBTQ community, back to them that way. So I guess I need to play around a little bit more with, you know, the different resources that are involved with that. But there are,
there's Mary.
Sounds like a good start, though.
Yeah.
yeah, there are some events. I'm in a Facebook group for queer people in Pittsburgh, and there are a couple events that people have been doing. There's a picnic that's happening in August, but just like with the move and stuff, it's
Yeah.
just been kind of difficult for me to, you know, prioritize that. But I think that, you know, especially once we get settled into the new building, it will make it easier to, like, you know.
Right, this is a defensive game by the former president, but also an offensive one. You don't see him just simply watching this go by and putting out statements. He is actually out on the campaign trail this weekend.
Can you mute? Thank you.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Okay, sorry, I went too far. We have R1s, care calls. Who's jumping in? Allie or Chris?
So I made 2, and neither one of those people returned my call. And to be honest, I got a little discouraged. I didn't make any after that because I have been a little inundated this month with finding a place to
Okay.
live.
Allie?
I got you. Hold on. I'm also trying to take our meeting minutes.
Okay.
Computer work. Okay, yeah. Care calls, just some updates. One from the care calls that I sent out last month. Keith responded and he did come to, he's here today. He came to our car forum
Mhm.
viewing with a couple other people. FYI, we just had some agents who have needed things like the referral status or a wonky listing, and I've been able to make the appropriate connection to get those people happening. I think some of these were covered in the team meeting last month, but Stacy had her first closing last month. Sandy had her first closing last month, and this past weekend she got 2 buyers under contract.
Oh,
Yeah, that's awesome for her, and she is downloading the Earnest app. I'm gonna look into doing that for him.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
She had great feedback for it. So
That's awesome,
has me
yeah.
Really excited.
Yeah, I sent her that app link last night, which was awesome. Timmy or Tamai, thank you.
He is a new person who's finally responded to me after all of these months. He just responded to me yesterday for the first time. He has had some difficult times in his family with the loss of some family members, so he's dealing with that. But that being said, he's really focusing on getting his leads converted and to reach his goals, so he's feeling very optimistic there, which was great. Christina has a new listing coming up this week, and her little estate is recovering from COVID.
Oh,
I know Lisa had 2 closings yesterday.
Yes, she
so
did.
awesome for Lisa. Yeah.
She'd also have in June.
Lisa Cap in
Lisa
June?
Cap in June.
Nice.
That is awesome.
good for her.
Christina is still questioning if we got our vendor list updated. She feels like she's continuing to bother people asking for electricians or whatever. I was like, bother away.
Yeah,
But working
that's what
on
the
that.
form's for. Keep
Yeah.
asking. Mhm.
Julian, I was from Julian, he's interested in coming to some PC, so I was plugging him in there.
Hunt
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
used to be in PC coaching before,
Okay.
and then they had another baby and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I would
He
love to
has
have
a
them talk
listing
about.
right now that's just, you know, a fixer upper, so he is wanting to, he got that little taste again of getting a listing,
Good.
and he wants to get all in and learn a lot more. Lorna's working on a land listing, which is awesome.
A lot of production.
There's a lot of production
New agent
going
production,
on,
yeah.
with
Yep.
these new agents,
Yes.
which is awesome. Shanika had her first listing and she got her first referral buyer client, which is great.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, that's kind of what's going on. I had 2 new people, like I said, who finally responded after plugging away since March 11th, I think. And 2 new people have attended. So out of the 43 people that I text regularly, I'm up to 33 people consecutively, consistently responding.
And just to
That's
send,
awesome.
just
Yeah.
I love that.
add Sam to the list. Sam had her first closing.
Sam, I think is on my list somewhere. I was shocked when she walked in, she said she was gonna be here, and I'm so happy that she's here. And yeah, Sam had her first closing also. So yeah, our agents are getting into production, and it's awesome.
Love it.
So that's all.
And
I have.
something we glossed over last month, I don't think we really addressed it too, with regards to agents in general, not just new. But we only had 3 agents between all 3 offices that missed renewal out of
Okay.
111.
That's wonderful.
Wow.
So that's pretty good. I mean,
That's
I
wonderful.
mean, we'd love to see all of them, but to only have 3 agents miss renewal date. Over 111 agents is a pretty good number. So I just wanted to throw that in. That was a win as far as I was concerned. And to date, knock on wood, we haven't seen too many pulling away. We're seeing that now. I'm seeing that in other brokerages where agents are starting to whittle down or shift careers or whatever. We expected a small drop with the shift, but knock on wood, I haven't seen anything
Yeah.
yet. We're going the other direction.
Well, and we
Just
didn't,
mentioned.
we retained in June and May, or June specifically, we didn't lose any agents. So, you know, that's more of a conversation on growth as well. Thank you so much. Thank you. ALC financials.
Yes, so I'm working on the budget for the rest of the year. It is due on the 17th, so 5 days from now. It does have to be signed off on by TL, OP, MCA, and ALC Financial Chair. So let's get together after PC today. Is that good for you? Okay, perfect.
Perfect.
We'll take a look at that and hopefully get that wrapped up. Joe and I took a look at this last week, made some changes. Not a whole lot to be concerned about. I have it with me here. Just to give a brief summary. Our dues and subscriptions will likely be going up. And then our TL salary going up as well, that's going down. And then our bold incentives are going down as well. So we're encouraged to make a lot of cuts. We made a few cuts and 1 increase. So
Was that just in preparation for the shift?
Red, yellow, green.
So overall, our budget came down a little bit.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
Fantastic.
all I have on that.
Thank you, Eva. Appreciate it. Okay, agent referrals. I think that's me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about this in the team meeting today, but as the ALC and as I'm taking, getting my feet wetter and wetter into the TL role, I'm going to be reaching out to all of you representing Johnstown, Altoona, as well as this office in particular, these ALC members, because a lot of the recruiting that's coming in, you guys are boots on the ground now. You are the ones that are out in the field working with agents that are either doing a great job or, people that stand out in terms of culture that you already feel like you'd want to be in alignment with. I've received 4 names from Allie. I've received 3 or 4 from Chris Keller. I just want to put this out there, like for the longest time, even when I was on ALC, and I'm just being completely transparent. This wasn't always, the office that I felt like I was, that we were ready to take on, more agents. And I really hope that having me in this role, and I just want to be inspiring to you guys in any way that I can so that you feel confident with bringing agents in, that we can be having really good substantive conversations with Doug and Joe and I, and obviously Alana and Eva as their admin staff. So I'm going to be reaching out to you guys on a more regular basis. Like, who do you know that I need to talk to? Who are you working with that you really like? So we're really counting on that. One of the things that I really feel like, wasn't hammered in enough to us as an ALC years ago was building your profit share. This is a huge component of creating additional leverage in your business for long-term growth and, wealth opportunity. So one of the things is like when you bring in an agent, they obviously sign the sponsorship form, but I'd love to talk to you guys briefly here about something that I sat in on a class like 2 weeks ago. And I don't know if y'all ever seen that on social media, like you're at the class and you just get out your credit card, sign me up, sign me up. So the McKissick group, Linda McKissick is like president of like a region or regional president in Ohio Valley. And she and her husband in 16 years have earned over $14 million in profit share. And they, as their son was growing up, his name is Press, came up with a website that would help them with their recruiting efforts. And then Press's best friend, Nick, jumped in and they decided to automate the website that that has like drip campaigns, like a CRM attached to it, and drip campaigns. It's outside of Command, it's totally different. But I really feel like as an ALC, if we started looking at ways to recruit for ourselves, right, into the market center. So it was, like an expense of like $350 to get that website up. And then I connect it with ads that I'm going to be placing on Indeed. And then I set up appointments. They can click on and schedule appointments with me that I'm talking to. Now, this class was specific for realtors. It wasn't for team leaders. It was for realtors to add an additional funnel to their business, right? So it's something for you to consider, the McKissick group. And if you have any interest, please feel free to reach out to me, text me, and I will share the website. I think it's called profitsharemastery.com is the name of the website. So if you check it out, they also have kits for ALCs. I'd be curious to look into that. Like as we're growing, I know that Joe's open to investing in all of us as we continue to grow and get our feet under us in terms of really functioning as an ALC. So I'm super excited about it. My site is going live here in the next week or so. So, and you can set it up with any times that you have to talk. It's no different than if a buyer called you cold and you had that quick conversation. You can be getting them into school and classes, or it could be an existing agent that's looking to make a change. So be the first person that they're talking to so that you can be their name that they put down. Any questions about that? Okay, good. I just want to put it out there. I'm going to be reaching out to you guys. I really want to know who you're working with that I need to know. The next topic, Todd Stainbrook was supposed to be here, but his wife has taken ill. So I told him I would speak on his behalf. We had a meeting with him, and I think it's super important that we support our allied vendors, our allied resources. And something that, might not have occurred to any of us, although we are in and of ourselves in sales and dealing with the shift and a reduction in our business. Who else is feeling that pinch, right? But our lenders, our home inspectors, our title companies. So we had a great meeting. Joe, if you want to jump in here as well, but we had a great meeting with Todd, and it was very just sincere. And he really loves being in this office and representing us and helping us where we need. I know as a PC coach, I just always refer new agents to go talk to him and learn about the mortgages that he offers and how he can help you grow your business. But he's really looking to us. He knows that there are some of us that have our preferred lender or whoever, but he really just wants an opportunity for us to, commit to, if you're not using him regularly, maybe commit to like at least one deal a year so that we can continue to maintain that resource. Jump in here, Joe. I know that you probably got some things to say around that too.
I mean, so you and I have had some offline conversations about just what the importance is of really great allied resources, and specifically around lending when it comes to the shifting market. I think that Todd, one of the things I really like about Todd, other than the fact that he's really fast at running, is that he is looking for a win-win.
Did you just say fast at running?
Yeah, he crushed me and Allie in that obstacle course. Which, by the way, if anybody wants to do an obstacle course, I'm always down. But I think one of the things I really like about him is that he's looking for a win-win. And when he sat down with us as Market Center leadership, he was looking for like, how can I make sure to add value, which part of it was going to be to talk to you guys today, but also just to make sure that he's really helping. I think like I distinctly remember, if it's like vividly in my mind, some of the days in 2008 where I would wake up in the morning and have deals and go to bed at night and have no deals. And the difference was that the bank that my borrowers were approved with had gone out of business, or that the mortgage interest rates had changed so much, or that the criteria had changed. And I'm not saying we're quite in those types of dark days, but we're not that far from dark days like that when you have a mortgage rate that has gone up from 3.2% to 5.7% over the span of 90 days. You have borrowers that have been affected by that, right? No?
Yes.
Nobody notices? Okay. So I think having a lender that's ready to play ball, wants to be in the trenches with us and help, I think that's what we've got there. So, if that means working with him on pre-quals, if it means just even having him help to educate our customers, that's what he's looking for. He had an ask, so there's some homework, and I don't know, Jen, if we're prepared to articulate that. Okay, so the homework is he's looking for as many of the grant programs as possible. There are some out there. I know. I mean, we love the Catapult. We love Catapult. Sorry, brain fart. So we love Catapult, but he's looking for others as well. And so if anybody has any links onto those, there are some other programs out there as well. There's one called Nehemiah. There's another one that he said, do you remember the name of that second one, Jen?
I don't.
There was another one that's like sort of a grant, but basically like, it inflates the rate and it impacts the customer in a negative way. Oh,
that's right. He said he hated it. He said,
yes.
Give me a second.
And I have experience with those as well, because the last time that those came around was immediately after the 2008 crash. So all the banks went out of business, and these people come in and they say, hey, we'll give you a grant for closing costs. And it just bumps your rate by just a smidge, just 0.5% or a whole percent. No big deal, right? So he was saying like, he'd really like to find some other grant opportunities. So obviously we are pro Catapult. That's been huge, but any others that are out there that we could tie in, that's an opportunity for us. So
NeighborWorks is a good one.
Oh, thank you, Mary.
Welcome.
You want to write that down?
Okay, awesome. And
Okay.
can you send that to, can one of you send that to Todd and just say it got brought up in the meeting today right away? Thank you.
Perfect. Anybody else have any? Now's a good time. So I saw an economist speak 2-3 weeks ago when I was in Florida, and he showed an interesting graph, and I hand drew it, I think, for Jennifer and Todd. But essentially it looks like this: as market affordability goes up, so meaning the economy gets healthier, the number of FHA, VA, and USDA loans goes down. It's almost inversely proportional. As affordability goes down and the economy is struggling, those loans go up inversely proportional. So we all are paying more for gas, right? We're all paying more for everything in life. So affordability is going down. And so we're going to see an uptick in those types of things. I would suspect that now's a really good time, if you don't know about PHFA, which is Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency, which is a tack-on loan that can supplement FHA, or it can also supplement conventional, depending on how you structure it. I'm not a lender, but I've done some real estate deals in my history. And I'm just pointing out that those types of deals are going to probably come back. And if you're not educated on those, because the last 90 months have been none of that, right? It's been conventional cash, or you're not playing in this game. That's probably going to change. And so getting acquainted with some of those types of things. So PHFA is something that you should probably look into. And I'm saying that to you as ALC members, because you're doing all of you are doing deals. I think all of our top 20% did a deal or had some type of written unit in the last month, which is phenomenal. But that's another reason why we should be leaning into the lender stuff. Okay.
Review shift tactic about what is it? The shift tactic. I know we just read it for creative financing.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
That's another resource that.
Well, assumables are something that we may be looking at, some words that you might be hearing soon, or assumables. Definitely FHA, PHFA that Joe's mentioning, VA. We're going to start seeing some of these loans. I didn't see an FHA buyer for almost 18 months.
The whole time you weren't seeing them, I was working with 5 of them a month.
Okay.
So it just depends on practice, right?
You go,
It
girl.
depends on the
It's
practice.
just,
USDA, which is
Yeah.
house specific, but exists.
yes.
Yeah. And again, lean on Todd. If you do not know what any of these, loan types are, when I got my license, I'm like, the second week that I was here and I knew he was here, I said, hey, I don't know anything about mortgages. And he met with me for an hour and a half, and he literally walked me through every single one, so that you can have substantive conversations and say, I'm not a lender. However, I know this, let me funnel you over to our ally, lender.
I did the exact same thing.
Totally. Yeah, he's
No,
great.
I'll just share with you guys too what I do. I have in my email signature, which is pretty robust. You probably most people would look at it. But there are 5 emails in there for 5 different lenders. So in my email signature, with every email it says, do you need a pre-approval? And my top 5 guys are in there. Now, as a courtesy to them, I rotate that list of emails, so nobody stays at the top. They move around, right? But that's just me. I like to give it at least 3 to 5 minutes.
I'm like 3.
At least 3.
Yeah.
All good. So AJM, he's looking for that opportunity to lean in, win-win. And if anybody else has any other, thank you, Mary, for the recommendation of the grant.
Awesome.
If anybody else has any other good grants, let's pool our resources. Let's be smarter together.
Okay. Thank you. Next topic, Joe, you want to stay on deck? New office update.
New office updates. So we are moving. It's coming. I say that both as a positive and as an intimidating thing that's coming. Our contractor is, I think right now, about 7 months behind. And that leaves us in a little bit of an interesting situation coming up here in July into August. We are going to do our move out at the end of July. We are going to have to we are going to have to temporarily relocate our office staff. And we have some good options. They're all local. So we're gonna just disseminate that information as we lock into the location that we're going to put them in. We will make sure that we have meeting space, closing space for agents as part of that temporary spot. And then we'll be moving a second time as we finally move into the new location. So they're in sanding, painting should start at the end of this week. So Jennifer might have some logistical, like tactical things in terms of timelines, dates, and all that. I'm going to be coming out the last week of the month, which we should be moved out by then. We should be moved out by the 28th or so. But my plan is to come out and be in the trenches to move and do whatever I need to do to help make sure that we have a good place. So not ideal. We were stuck between, I was telling Jennifer, it's super frustrating. We were stuck between two not so great options. Option number one would have been extending for an extended period of time in the existing building, which probably would have resulted in us making double rent payments on two substantial rents. And option number two was to hedge our bet that we would get materials, we would stay on pace, and that everything was going to work out. They were originally supposed to be done in Q1, so we're way far off of that. So we hedged that bet, and we're probably going to end up with an overlap of a little period of time, but I think we can accommodate. So
I think important for this group to know is that movers are scheduled for the 28th. So what we really like for you to do is to be mindful of an email that's going to be coming, just asking for a work day to come in and just kind of help. We're just going to be wanting to box some stuff up. It's not a ton of stuff. Most of the stuff is just like furniture. There's only a little bit of like boxing to do. It's not major, but we do have in the back, we've gone through, I don't know if y'all have seen little stickies on stuff all around. There's some green stickers, yellow and red stickers.
Oh, see ya.
have a great trip, guys.
Okay. If you could please take a look in the back, talk to either Eva or Lana and I. There's some old office chairs back there. I'm hoping to put them out this weekend, like out in the parking lot with just a free sign on that. So you can recover one of those chairs or whatever. The chairs work fine. They just look atrocious. So just take a look at those and see if you want to snag one. There's also a wonky file cabinet back there. Those are literally like free to the first person that wants them. So, those are going to be hitting the curb this weekend just to try to get them out before we get ready to start packing. I just want to give a heads up.
I'm empty.
I know, look at her. I just wanted to announce it. Like she's packed and already like out of the
They
office.
asked me to get out of there. So I'm always leading by example. So in 3
out.
days I got out of there.
Yeah.
Now, it wasn't ideal for me, I'll admit it, because I don't have a place to live at the moment, other than a studio with a garage with everything I own, boxes with spiders. So now my office is in there
Yeah.
with spiders.
Yeah.
we're
But
gonna
thank
run
you. Thank you. I'll be loading mine up probably next week or the weekend after that. But anyway, just a heads up, if you do have space in here, you need to start getting that boxed up, cleared out and ready to go. Because on the 28th, the movers are coming to move. They are not packers movers. They are just movers. So we just need to be ready before the 28th. So we will send something out for like a work evening or something. I don't know. I'll buy y'all pizza and whatever. We'll come in here and knock it out and have it ready.
There's a business aspect to this as well. Sorry, I had to go say goodbye to some people who are going out of town. There's a business aspect to this, which is that we have recovered financially really well from where we were Q4. And so that allows us to have the flexibility to, we're going to invest in some office furniture. So we're doing a clean out. So like she's talking about recovering those chairs. That's cool if you want to do that, but I would anticipate that we're going to have a really nice looking office at the new location with
Oh no,
some
I
new.
think that's for like home or something. Like,
Okay. I'm
not,
like,
not in their office. No. Let's clear that.
so do you like how gently I was like, please don't do that?
No, no, I meant just like take it home, give it to your kid in a gaming chair or something. I don't know.
So yeah, so I think we are going to be doing some investment on that. Today's Amazon Prime Day, so apparently there's some decent deals right now. So yeah, so we're gonna make that happen. So I'm
Ellie's got a shopping cart ready to pull. She's like ready.
I said things all the time.
Yeah. Also, I meant yesterday we had a tour. Anybody that didn't get a chance to go, feel free to text me. I'll put another tour together to go check out the new building. I'm gonna draw like a map and we're just gonna like pencil in if there's like a site that you see. We're still trying to come up with a price for what the offices are gonna be, but it'll be reasonable and doable for any of us that are in production and killing it. So Any other things about the office updates? There's just going to be more info coming, so please read your emails. Okay, how to run a board meeting training for ALC. So I tasked Alana, it's been probably a thorn in her side, but what I'd really love to do is to continue to try to elevate the functioning of our ALC. It should function as a board. We want to start getting agents solid in their committee chair positions and understand what that means. We want to be a functioning committee that is helping Joe and leadership, you know, make decisions for this market center. Like, it's an honor to be on the ALC, and there's a responsibility that goes with it. And in typical boards, you've got chair people that are in those positions because they have some sort of connection in the community or in their business that fits that niche. Okay, so we're going to be looking at some opportunities here coming in the fall, probably after the move, is to have a guest speaker come in and talk about how does a board run? How are we supposed to be functioning as a board so that we're as efficient as we can be? If y'all have any questions about that, if you have any contacts that do that kind of training, please send that information to Alana and she will get that funneled. She's texting me right now. She has a guy. Anyway, I just feel like that, like, as we're learning in our businesses, this is a huge thing. And I really, super high functioning ALCs can make a complete difference in a market center. I'm super pumped about it.
Speaking of high functioning, just want to plug the Friday ALC top agent calls. So there's a production threshold that I have that I looked at to do that invite, and then ALC members. So that call is where Ryan and Chris got voluntold to do the red, yellow, green panel. So because we were having a high level conversation as top agents on that call, and we were talking about how are you adjusting your finances to get ready for the shift. That turned into something that's valuable for the whole market center. So I just want to make sure, I know Cindy's on here, and Jean, and I think Mary gets that invite as well. So just making sure that if you're getting that invite, that you do attend that. It should, I would say that if you're on the ALC and in production, pretty much everybody should have gotten that invite. And if you haven't,
I want to take that one step further and say, I'm throwing down the challenge. Like, these are your ALC top producers in this office. I want to see every single ALC member at the red, yellow, green, either be on the Zoom or preferably be here in person. Like, show support for these agents that are bringing value and presenting, you know, good content so that we can all grow. We really want to see you guys here. So would love to have a full room and a full, you know, room on Zoom as well for our Altoona and Johnstown agents.
can I level that challenge up to bring a friend, bring a +1.
Yeah. Do you know an agent?
Yeah, it's I have an event on the public Facebook page for red, yellow, green. And so it is open to the public. So if you happen to have anyone who might be interested in it or have gained value from it, or maybe who's like interested in, you know, checking KW out or making a shift or something, you can direct them to the our Facebook page and they can RSVP there, and it has the Zoom link that will let them in. And then if it does require a password, I do believe that I have it written down that it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the reason. Yeah. Also, I guess since we're talking about Zoom links, I figured it out. The reason that so the meeting ID is the front desk meeting ID, and all events use the same personal meeting ID, just to make it easy. However, every time that I make a change to one, like let's say it's the morning huddle, you know, I don't want, you know, Joe and Doug to be automatically muted and for the recording to automatically start. So I turned it off, and then it reflected on everything. So that's why it's been like really jacked up recently. So I would like to apologize for that, but
it's all good.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, I think that, yeah. So if it asks for a password, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to post and Facebook post and also email everyone for the team meeting. Be like, hi.
Yeah.
You know. hopefully you don't need it, but this is what it is if you do.
Okay,
We have 20, just ringing the bell,
20?
20 minutes.
Oh yeah, we got it. We're on. Okay, I already mentioned about ALC members involved in a committee. So what I'm gonna do this week is send each of the ALC members a link to, the ALC covenants and what the committees look like. If you're not already on a committee, again, it's my first meeting with you guys. I want you to express interest in picking a committee and becoming a committee chair. People on the committee, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, but agents do not have to be in the ALC to be on your committee. They can-
100% correct.
Yeah, they can be just here in the market center. Maybe they have a passion for culture, or they have a passion for finances, or they have a passion for something else in the realm of the committees. But would really, really love to see you bringing in those other agents that are here in the market center, meeting with them, regularly to be able to report on what it is that you're working on here for the ALC. So an email will go out so that you guys can start picking those and being ready. Any questions about that? Okay, awesome. Announcements. Obviously, we've got our team meeting today. Please join us from 12 to 1. We've got a lot to cover. Again, more with the move. As well as Megan Link's going to pop in and do some compliance checking in. What else do we have, Alana?
We've revamped agent celebration things. So we have 3 or 4 different categories now for, like top agents for the past month. I have top 10 year-to-date producers on there. Yeah, and so then, like, people with the most closed units, most listings, that type of thing. So I'm excited for that.
Yep.
We have a fun raffle opportunity that I will talk about with, and then Doug will join me on that. And then also talking about, the property showing boot camp that's coming up, as well as red, yellow, green, and then transactional basis with Becky often with elite closings. She will be zooming in because she still has her little baby. So
Quinn.
yeah.
Team meeting teasers.
Yeah, team meeting teasers.
Yeah.
I love that. Which you just segued us into, the rest of the announcements almost with the red, yellow, green, the gauntlets thrown. Would love to see you and a +1 here for that. I think you've mentioned in the newsletter that Joe and Eva and I have to attend franchise systems orientation in Austin, Texas. So we're going to be gone Monday and Tuesday for that, but we will be back. George Kelly, tell us about our man, Chris. Like, the guy's just a wealth of information. What's that? He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And George is the bomb. He teaches a great class where he does a great overview of command at a high level. So if you're a beginner, you pick up a lot. If you're an intermediate user, you can pick up a lot. Even if you're an advanced user, there's a 2.0. So
And he's an amazing instructor.
Yeah.
Like, he just waters it down, keeps it simple.
Yeah.
It's
He's amazing.
Not anything to be intimidated by.
Keep that in mind as you're maybe getting a call from a new agent that might need some help, or somebody posts needing help in the Facebook group or whatever, that we can be funneling people into these higher end resources in terms of tech training with George on July 20th.
It is
That's
free
next
as
Wednesday.
well.
It's free.
And if you register for it, and because it is from 9 to 12, which is a long time, but when you register for it, you don't have to attend for the whole time. Maybe if you have, like a showing appointment or a closing or something, they will send you the recording from that session. And so then you can watch it at your own pace and, like pause play if you're taking notes or anything like that. So,
But you won't get the recording unless you register.
correct.
Yeah.
So even if, the time doesn't work for you or the day doesn't work for you, just register anyways if you think that you need that help. Or maybe want to like learn some new things about command. And then they will send it to you at like the end of the day, I believe.
And then I'm going to piggyback on what Alana just said for anybody who's out in Cyberland and say, and even if you don't think you need the help,
You do.
register because you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah. And it will answer a ton of questions.
Mhm.
Thank you. Okay, property showing boot camp video tours. I'm teaching that on July 21st. We're gonna try to maybe record me doing pieces of that. It depends on who goes. so that they can record that. But just in a nutshell, that's going to be on how to do like agent tours when they're sight unseen, right? So you're videoing and like what apps I'm using and how to edit that video together for that. Transactional basics with Becky, that's always a good class. She's taught in my PC classing in years past. She's amazing. Any other things as we're wrapping up here? I wanted to stay on time, and I love that it's a little bit early. But the next ALC meeting, please put it in your calendars, August 9th from 11 to 12, August 9th.
Do we have any committee reports that anybody had any information on or anybody was waiting on?
We kind of did some recaps at the beginning.
Okay, sorry.
And talked about, I can follow up with you, but like the walking tour after the move, something else after the move. Can't remember. LGBT, like
Okay.
outreach after the move. So we are tabling quite a few things until we get,
Finance is gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wanted to express welcomes to Fran,
yes.
Karen,
Oh, that's business.
and Cindy, who's
Yes.
back with us again. So
Yay,
welcome,
thank
everybody.
you.
Welcome to your first ALC.
And I'm super excited. I'm actually meeting our guy Doug here in Johnstown tomorrow and spending the day with our Johnstown agents and teaching a class on building a Google business page, talking with Fran and Karen about some things that we talked in ownership meetings. So super excited to see Doug there and happy to meet everybody in person. I'm really looking forward to that, really. And hi, Cindy. You're looking forward to meeting you too. I'll be in Altoona soon. All
We're
right.
further out, so we're last though.
I don't know, but you can get a massage at the Altoona office. I just keep
That's true.
plugging. I'm gonna keep plugging that.
Yeah.
Hold up.
So good.
You should have given, why have you just now sharing that information with me?
So for everybody to know, the Altoona office is attached to a wellness center, and you can get a massage. You can get a foot massage. You can,
Foot bath. Yeah.
Okay, I'm in. I'll schedule that.
Oh, you can do a steam. I mean, it's the whole
I'll
the
schedule
whole
that.
spiel. Oh, speaking of that neck of the woods, we will be talking in the team meeting about the Rosa picnic. So we
Yeah.
won't go into a rabbit hole on it here,
Good.
but just kind of something that we really want to put some excitement into. It's going to be our first really big event that not just this office has hosted, right? So I'd really like to see our other offices and
In the
get
mix,
many-
100%.
get in the mix and be a part of it. You will not regret the day. It's hopefully if it doesn't rain, it's a beautiful day experience there. At that park, it's a simple park, ride and slide all day. The food is top shelf. I mean, you cannot beat their catering and their food.
Okay.
So August 14th is the date. Mark that in your calendars and
Awesome.
let's try to pump some excitement into it. Okay,
Awesome.
We'll get into more details during the team.
And you know what? If we need more walkers, let us know. October, right? Walker.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's coming
For
up too.
the walk to end Alzheimer's, you can still register. We did make our donation goal and the number of people on our team, so that we will have a banner. You can still register and still donate.
Awesome.
So if you are interested, that is October 22nd, I believe.
Yes.
And so it is in Altoona, and I am going. Jen's going. We can coordinate on.
Riding out there together.
Yep, doing some carpooling.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Fran, I just sent Fran and Karen, I just sent you, or I sent it to Karen rather, a thing on the ALC covenants, and I'll send you some more. I'll send you some more data on that so that you're up to speed on what we are. Anything else, everybody? Awesome. It was great seeing you. We will see you just in a few minutes at the team meeting. Thanks for coming today.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you soon.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.
What was that? Good call.